What you're about to see challenges all conventional notions about parenting. It may offend, perhaps even anger many of you. It's called attachment parenting, a back-to-basics approach to child raising that's becoming more and more popular with mums here and around the world. The idea is that mothers agree to every demand a child makes, anytime, day or night. They ask their permission to change a nappy, let them sleep in the grown-up's bed, and even breastfeed them through preschool and beyond. But don't just dismiss all of this as New Age extremism. There is some compelling science behind it.
Yeah, it must have got stuck.
For Molly, breastfeeding her daughter couldn't be more natural. Her child is content, and their bond is incredibly strong. But Amelia is no baby. She's a growing toddler in preschool.
My daughter is almost 4 and she nurses maybe 5 times a week now.
When do you think she'll wean?
She has decided that on her 4th birthday, she'll be done.
But she has decided?
Yes.
It's not something you have decided as a mum?
No, and it's normal. You know, it might not be socially accepted or socially normal, but biologically it's completely normal.
This normal or natural approach is called attachment parenting. Basically, what baby wants, baby gets. Mums and kids are joined at the hip. What was considered extreme is now mainstream and more popular than ever. It's got mums and the experts divided.
My concern is that at that extreme end of attachment parenting, there's that sense that I actually can't manage this world on my own. Which means that if I've got a problem, I need you next to me as my mum.
The main quality I've seen in these children is empathy. These are kids who care. I have never yet seen a school bully who was attachment parented.
When I actually add up the years of breastfeeding, I've breastfed for something like 6 years altogether.
In suburbs around Australia, parents like mother of 3 Simone Casey are rejecting generations of motherly advice. Gone are the rigid routines of scheduled feeding times and controlled crying, where babies are left to cry themselves to sleep. Attachment kids share their parents' bed and breastfeed on demand.
He'll call milk me, and he'll just go me like that.
When 2-year-old Levi wants to breastfeed, Simone obliges, whether she's working or out with friends.
If you're trying to have a coffee and have a talk, you've got your toddler pulling you off, and then he'll go and say me, and I'll go okay, and so he'll have a bit of a drink, and then I can finish my conversation. So,
is that good for him, or is it convenient for you?
Look, he wants it, so I think it's a bit of both, really.
When you're not relaxed, you kind of get a bit antsy and you might think that everyone's looking at you and they're not necessarily.
Well, that's right.
Simone and her friends, Andy, Natalie and Justina, have ignored advice from previous generations.
Do you know Bodhi's never ever cried? Like at night for me?
Yeah. And they've gone back to basics.
I really believe it's just what we're biologically and hormonally designed to do, and that's respond to your child's needs.
Andy Lou and her husband Warren have extended attachment parenting beyond just the nursing techniques and allow 2.5-year-old Bodhi to make his own decisions.
Even just to ask them to change their nappy for permission, and the more you talk to them about everything that you're doing, the more they learn. So, I remember him being like days old and saying, "Mummy's just going to change your nappy now, would that be okay?"
If he doesn't like something, he has the option to say no, because he's a little human being.
Hi. Did you get shy?
These attachment parents practice what parenting guru Dr. Bill Sears pioneered in the 1970s. Does this throw out the rule book, the parenting guides from the 50s, 60s and 70s?
It does. It discards those guidebooks of get them on a schedule, bottle feeding's just as good. Now that was really wrong.
His books and teachings have never been more popular. Dr. Sears' basic philosophy is that mum needs to be 100% responsive to her baby's needs.
Beware of baby trainers, the let them cry it out crowd. That crowd just causes a distance between mother and child.
Did the controlled crying crowd, as you put it, get it wrong?
They got it wrong. They got it wrong. Also, it's dangerous. Baby crying in another room, unattended, bothers the brain, meaning that the stress hormones in the brain get so high that they can bother the brain.
You're talking about brain damage.
Brain damage, yes.
Seriously?
Seriously.
I can hear some mothers saying, come on, doctor, I got my child to sleep through the night with controlled crying, and they don't have brain damage.
And your child probably turned out just fine. But crying is their language. So the baby says, nobody listens. I'm upset. I'm in a dark room all alone, and nobody is coming to me. So the baby loses trust in the parent.
I think we have to be very careful because mothers are left with extraordinary levels of guilt, extraordinary levels of fear.
Australian child psychologist Heather Irvine-Rundle says the demands of attachment parenting, like extended breastfeeding, put many mums under pressure that's neither fair nor helpful.
We know that breastfeeding is great. No one is going to argue with that. But why would you want mums at their most vulnerable time to feel worse than they already do?
What level of guilt do mums feel if they can't breastfeed all the time?
It's extraordinary guilt. If you haven't held a crying baby for 3 hours, please don't tell a mum how she should be managing her child. We just don't know what goes on in another mother's experience. We just don't. And until we do, let's just say, I see that works for you. Congratulations, power to you.
Attachment parenting hit the headlines after this recent Time magazine cover, with that strident pose with son Aram and the provocative question, are you mum enough? Los Angeles mother Jamie Grumet was suddenly the poster mum of attachment parenting.
My goal with doing this was to show people that this is a healthy option for your child and it shouldn't be stigmatized.
Punch hard. Yes, punch again.
Aram is 4 years old. He's an active toddler.
Yeah.
Isn't he old enough? Isn't it time to give it up?
Well, no, because he's not ready. And scientifically, if you look at other primates, they wean, in relation to human beings, we should be weaning 2.5 to 7 years. That's the normal range.
You were breastfed for quite a long time yourself. What are those memories of being breastfed for 6 years?
It feels like home. That's the best thing I can describe it. I remember breastfeeding my mom and feeling completely safe and secure.
Jamie's photo became a rallying cry for attachment mums around the world. Hundreds of other women, like Molly in Chicago, posed for similar photos and spread them across the internet in support of attachment parenting.
I'm just doing what feels natural for me. You know, I have 2 wonderful children who I love dearly, and I couldn't see it any other way. I don't see it as a sacrifice at all.
And a bit of chain. He hooked up the land into
Perhaps one of the most contentious parts of this whole debate is how to put your baby to sleep. Attachment parents believe in co-sleeping or bed sharing. And there's hard scientific research to support what they're doing.
Babies need to sleep with their mothers. Mothers are designed to respond biologically to what makes their babies happy. What makes their babies happy? Being with their mothers. It goes on and on.
Sleep expert Dr. James McKenzie from America's prestigious Notre Dame University is challenging the conventional parenting advice about the safest way for babies to sleep.
I'm trying to document here the secret lives of babies in cribs.
After 20 years of research, he says the baby who falls into a deep sleep in a separate room, like this, is a bad thing.
What sleep like a baby really mean? Biologically, it means wake, feed, sleep. Wake, feed, sleep. Wake, feed, sleep. Not sleep. It just isn't there. And we can't keep pretending that it's okay to ignore what parents need to know.
Dr. McKenzie says sleeping close to or sharing a bed with mum teaches the baby crucial skills to awaken and correct irregular sleep. Something he says the baby learns from being in tune with mum's sleeping and breathing patterns.
Here, the mother has a little apnea. She pauses, she opens her eyes, she looks up, checks down at her baby, she goes back to sleep. Well, unbeknownst to her, as you say, about plus or minus 2 seconds later, her baby does the same thing.
Baby stirs as well.
Right.
So the mother and baby become synchronized.
Yes.
And that's a good thing.
Yes. So one of the major hypotheses about why babies die from SIDS is that they have an arousal deficiency, meaning that they aren't able to awaken up quickly or effectively or efficiently to terminate an apnea.
But a warning here. There's a big difference between co-sleeping and just having the baby in the bed for convenience. Like in this case, where Dr. McKenna says the child is at risk. The mum is exhausted and unresponsive, and as recent cases in Australia have shown, the baby's at risk of any number of dangers, among them suffocation.
I would suggest that you should have your baby in at least the room, because we know that babies that are at least in the room and they get stimulated by something, or maybe more inspections by the parent, they have a reduced risk of dying.
You know, you wake up and you're like, why am I awake? And then a minute later, they want to feed.
For these attachment mums back in Melbourne, the science validates what their instincts have always told them.
I think the biggest thing that women are often worried about is rolling onto their baby or hurting their baby. But you, again, instinctually know where your baby is.
I actually despair when I hear a mother of, say, a 3 or 4 week old baby trying to actually detach themselves from the baby to get this baby to sleep on their own, to learn to self-settle, and that makes me feel sad because, you know, you have this baby, to be attached to the baby and to have this baby with you, and then suddenly you're trying to push it away already.
It's not a trend. It's really, in some ways, going back to our roots. It's rediscovering the art of parenting and the science of parenting.
What are the benefits of children raised by attachment parents?
They're connected kids. When they get to school, I've had many teachers come up to moms and dads and say, you know, tell me what you've done to rear such a nice child.
Molly certainly says that Amelia is proof of all of that. And she doesn't care how people judge her style of parenting, confident she's done exactly the right thing for her children.
They know that they're safe. And I think that's part of attachment parenting, is it creates a very, very securely attached child.
It doesn't make them clingy?
In my experience, no. They love being held. They love being cuddled, just as much as they want to get away.
Hello, I'm Dimity Clancey. Thanks for watching 60 Minutes Australia. Subscribe to our channel now for brand new stories and exclusive clips every week. And don't miss out on our extra minute segments and full episodes of 60 Minutes on 9now.com.au and the 9Now app.